Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, still under construction around the Lego room, but I'm here today with a minifigure haul. This is a trade as well as a purchase, and a little talking about one or two other figures I don't need to share here, but I thought name as well at this point, since some of them are about duplicates anyways. So, to start things off, we have Nathanael from the Great North of Canada, who traded a minifigure with me from Series 22, and this was a figure that I was actually ecstatic about getting a second copy of it. I already own the figure, but I had one that I didn't want to get duplicates of, at least for right now. And it worked out with both of us through Twitter and Instagram that we could get a trade, and everybody wins. So be sure to check him out on Twitter and Instagram. Links will be in the description and the pinned comment section down below if you want to see more about his stuff. He makes some really good artwork. Modifying minifig parts or just adding them in photo editors so that he makes them look different than what you normally see in the sets or new designs entirely. So it's really cool how he does all that stuff. And if you like Garfield, you'll check out his Twitter. It's a Garfield profile picture and sometimes posting about it on there. So, it's all good. It's all fun. So, much like a Martha Stewart or any kind of cooking show, I've already built the figure in advance. This has already been opened and built because I originally recorded this footage. I was sitting out in the cold after work. I finally went to the mailbox and was like, oh, it's a package. And good, it finally arrived. And then, built it in the cold on the hood of my car before I went inside because I just wanted to get the video done. I thought I would get it out right away. Unfortunately, didn't get it uploaded ever because my phone broke shortly after that point, like a day or so later. That's when my phone decided to take a dive, and then I had to re-record all this for you today. So maybe it'll be better footage, who knows. So anyways, now that we're here with a Lego room and fully insulated house, I can take a better look at the figure up close. I haven't actually reviewed Series 22 yet. I haven't actually reviewed any collectible minifigures series for a while, but every once in a while, it's nice to talk about on camera. And this one, honestly, in my opinion, is great for having extra parts to it. It reminds me of the dolphin surfer that we had in the Series 21 from 2021. I think that was actually really smart of having a lot of different pieces incorporated in one figure with an animal and maybe something that the animal can interact with. So you can actually use this in several purposes as itself, but also a lot of really good prints, a lot of really good little pieces here and there that you can mix and match with other figures in general. Always nice to have those black short sleeves, which I know have been released before with the computer programmer, but unfortunately didn't get as many as I'd like. I only had one. So I will have to fix that with this figure, even though it's going to have a watch. I think it works perfectly fine. Anyway, around that. So even though, we've had an increase of $1 in the US for the collectible minifigures, and we now have 12 of them to collect instead of 16, I'm not going to do the math if it's actually saving a bit of money as opposed to buying 16 figures at $4 versus 12 figures at $5. It's probably a little bit different here one way or the other, but I think the value is the thing that really shines through, is that now that there are less figures, you can focus more on each one having really good stuff to them, really good colors and prints, and also a lot of them in the series alternate faces. A lot of Series 22 has alternate faces for the figures, which is commendable. It's another thing that we like having, and always good to have more expressions available for different figures. But also the extra dollar in price also helps with adding a bit more stuff to the figures. So even though we're basically paying the price of a poly bag for just a blind bag figure, you got a little bit more to do with them, and they're more interesting parts that could be used in other ways outside of the figure itself. With that being said, let's get on to the second one, which I just picked up in Walmart because it was already, I know the series has already been out for a while, but in my area, the best way I've been able to find out up to now, locally, was Kohl's. And Kohl's didn't have that many other figures to go through when I last went there, so I did the best with what I did. And then I still had that's when I had the extra warrior with the moon shield that I didn't necessarily want to get a duplicate of, and I was trying to get the horse girl and unfortunately did not. So sometime later, I went to the Lego store. I had done a purchase there, and I had also picked up along the way a minifigure from there. Unfortunately, at my Lego store, they didn't allow me to actually use any of the figures. I couldn't actually feel the packs that were behind the register, and the employees would have to feel them for you if you asked about it. But even at that, I still didn't get exactly the figure I wanted. It's not a bad figure that I got, however. I actually didn't get the alien guy. I got an extra acorn guy, which, you know, it could still be useful as a second one. Just change the face on him, and it could be another part of a group. But I was still trying to get the horse girl at the end of the day. So I went across the street to Barnes & Noble. I found it on my own. A-okay. But now I've been able to go to Walmart, and they have them available on the shelves in my area, and I was able to pick up this guy lickety split, the alien creature. Obviously, I'm going to harvest his torso for making a classic spaceman. I did that before for Instagram, but that was using the first one. But it's like I still want to have one that's going to be on his own, doing his own thing. I might still use these other parts for other things in general. Could make like a nice outfit out of that. The purple and black really work well with each other in here, so maybe a black torso could actually fit this figure very well. I still like that there's, you know, the integration of the headpiece into the head itself to make a different alien style of head there. And again, alternate face or mouth, I guess you could say, so you could be a little bit more excited. Again, a figure that you could easily get a whole bunch of them and try to create some kind of alien clan out of them. Whether or not they're wearing the same outfits or different kind of outfits is up to you, of course. But the potential is really there, in my opinion. I also have the extra part there added onto the blaster just to make it easy so it doesn't go missing. But it could always get integrated to other stuff anyways. I have seen people use these and make like a whole wall of like a little... I don't know what these would be, some kind of larvae or something, you know, an infant form of some kind of alien maybe. But they're really cool looking together as like its own little hive. So yeah, I will have a classic spaceman. Luckily, I already had an extra of the Danju helmet piece. So for those who don't know, getting the classic spaceman rebuilt in purple would actually require getting one particular minifigure, Danju, from Knight's Kingdom 2. I called that as soon as the images of this series came out. I said, you're going to look for that figure right now, or it's going to be really tough to find later on. And luckily, I already had the extra of that piece. I actually own, I think, maybe 2 or 3 of that minifigure, but I had the piece loose on its own already, which is fantastic. So I don't have to tear anything apart to do that. Unfortunately, we don't have any oxygen tanks in purple. At least for right now, recording this video and the release of this series, but who knows, maybe it'll come out sometime later. It's kind of like Rocket Boy in reverse, because Rocket Boy, you had the helmet and the oxygen tanks long before there was a collectible minifigure series. This was way back in Classic Space, so it had an authentic squarish helmet. So having it now in the opposite way, you know, it's kind of funny. But I think even if in the meanwhile, using a black one wouldn't be too far-fetched compared to other colors with a classic spaceman in purple. So let me know in your comments down below about getting these minifigures in multiples. I know that there's the increase of price with them, so there's that question if they're actually worthwhile getting multiples of them, or just having the parts for, you know, some people might even just buy one of each of them just to have the versatility and variety of parts. But I do still like to keep these mostly together unless I use them for sig figs or a project here and there. There are some of them that I've actually rebuilt into the collectible minifigures after using them for projects. So let me know in the thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching this video. I know it took 9 minutes to talk about 2 collectible minifigures, but I swear it would be a much more worthwhile video if you wanted me to talk about the whole series in another video, and maybe, you know, not take as long or be more worthwhile while talking about them. We'll see. But I thought it was also a fun discussion about the versatility of parts and the value that comes with these 12 series, this 12 figure series. So catch y'all later, and thanks for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And thank you to Nathanael once again. Be sure to check him out on Twitter and Instagram down in the description below.